JFK Jr., the narcissistic, pathological, lying, fatherless junkie whose chase for fame and clout will end up killing millions of people across the world. I've done a lot of research on this topic, and I want to tell you all about it. And I know what you're thinking. How did you do research on this topic? Oh, I opened up Tab. How many tabs, you ask?
Too many tabs. Remember to smile.
This is Too Many Tabs, a podcast where a husband and wife duo do their research on a specific topic and then they lore dump all over each other's supple bodies. But this month is different. In August, every single year,
it's the best month.
We do Quack Month.
Yeah.
And Quack Month is named after quack medical professionals,
Quackery.
doctors, liars,
Chiropractors,
grifters, all the different
snake oil
things.
salesmen.
All of them. And now I want to talk to you about their king.
Oh, they have a king.
Yes, the king of the Quacks, who is currently the Secretary of Health and Human Services for the United States government. And his name is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. His full name is Robert Francis Kennedy Jr. He
got that Francis in there.
He got that Francis in there.
Catholic.
Catholic as hell. Because he's from the Kennedy clan.
Look,
And
I'm telling you something. I said this on the podcast before, okay?
Yeah.
When you a real Catholic born in,
Yeah.
you get one middle name. It's either Anne for the girls or Francis for the boys.
That's very true.
There ain't sometimes you get a Maria.
Yeah. And,
But-
well, so here's the thing. He's the third of 11 children.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're that Catholic. They're
I
old
had
school.
no idea I had that many siblings.
Oh, the Kennedy clan, which is they're like the Kennedy family,
Yeah,
which
like-
is JFK and RFK Senior, JFK Senior,
Yeah.
and RFK Senior, which is John Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. They were John Kennedy was the president of the United States,
Yeah.
and RFK Senior was his attorney general.
Got it.
John Kennedy was the United States Senator representing Massachusetts. And then later, RFK was the United States Senator representing New York. And then their brother, the third brother, he was Teddy Kennedy.
Yeah.
And he became the United States Senator representing Massachusetts, taking it over from JFK when he became president.
Got it.
But the thing is all three of those brothers in the 60s especially, they all have tragic stories.
Yeah.
Tragic. We all know
Okay.
JFK. Dallas, JFK.
Yeah.
We've all seen Zapruder
Didn't
film.
people go down to Texas and try to meet him?
People went down to go try to meet JFK Jr. We'll get into that with QAnon.
Oh, yeah,
There's a
yeah.
whole thing. There's a whole QAnon. There's going to be so many things.
Is there going to be a board on this episode?
The chart comes into this. When JFK was assassinated, RFK Jr. was 9 years old.
Okay.
His dad was the U.S. Attorney General working in the cabinet.
Yeah.
He then ran for senator for New York City. And then in 1968, his dad, RFK Sr., was running for president of the United States to replace Lyndon Johnson.
Okay.
And he was in California for a primary, and he was assassinated.
Okay.
RFK Jr. was 14 years old.
Okay.
This is the most pivotal moment of his life. This is also, again, another one of those things. This was around a time of massive amounts of assassinations.
Yeah.
We had RFK Jr. being assassinated. MLK is assassinated the same year. 1968 is like kind of renowned for being a year of assassination, political turmoil, and it's how we got Richard Nixon.
Yes.
Okay? So there's all this different stuff in there. The next year, his uncle, United States Senator Teddy Kennedy, who was looked at pretty immediately as the heir to the Kennedy throne. He's sitting in JFK's old seat. He gets into a drunk driving accident in Chappaquiddick, New York, that kills a babysitter. Yes. And there's a lot of shit around that.
Yeah.
Kennedy crashes his car into a stream or a creek or something like that. So all of this stuff happens before RFK Jr. is 16 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, think about being 16 and your uncle dies, your uncle is murdered, your dad is murdered, your other uncle, who is now the nominal head of the family, he just killed a babysitter.
Yeah.
You're seeing all of this different stuff.
And you're in the middle child situation here.
Yes, 100%.
You got so many siblings.
And he's going to private schools up in Massachusetts, all those things. So what do? Heroin. You do heroin.
Oh, okay.
You start doing heroin. Because RFK Jr. started doing heroin at the age of 15. And then he
Damn.
proceeded to keep doing this for the next 14 years of his life. He admitted that this is when it started.
If you start, that's crazy. You got to at least do a gateway drug. He
did.
They always told me there was going to be gateway drugs.
He did do gateway drugs. He did do gateway drugs.
Okay.
He did marijuana. Like, he smoked pot. And he got arrested for marijuana possession when he was 16.
Okay.
And that marijuana arrest in, I think it's like 1970, that led to him getting expelled from private schools.
Oh, okay.
Because back in like 1969, 1970, I know it's crazy because now like marijuana is decriminalized in like 40 states across the United States.
Yeah.
Even though they're talking about recriminalizing it in a bunch of different places.
Yeah, for sure.
But back then, getting busted with pot was the equivalent of getting busted with heroin.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. It was like, oh, if
Might
you
as
smoke
well.
a joint or you're shooting up, it doesn't fucking matter.
Might as
It's
well.
going to be the same level of crime.
All right.
He got busted with pot. He got kicked out. The Kennedy family themselves started to look at him as a ringleader of a pack of spoiled rich brats.
The Brat Pack?
They had a different nickname.
Oh, what was it?
The Hyannisport Terrors.
Okay, that sucks as a nickname.
I know, but again, this is like, I want you to think of like,
okay, real quick, before
Yeah.
you even go into any of that.
Go ahead.
That's a terrible nickname.
Yes.
Brat Pack would have worked. They could have stole it and rebranded it. But also, can you say it for me one more time?
The Hyannisport Terrors.
Okay, so the HP Terrors. The HP Terrors are something I experience every time I try to print something. I experience
Trying
the
to use
HP
our
Terrors.
Hewlett Packard printer. Yeah, I would have called them the Hyannisport Villains, or HPV for short. Myself. Don't worry, we're gonna get into how he's against that vaccine.
You get the vaccine for that, right?
Grrr, yeah. They engaged in vandalism, theft, and drug use. He then still got into Harvard, of course, because again, they're all connected.
Well,
and the whole thing with Harvard being really pushed is because of the Kennedys.
Yeah.
Harvard was already like a very big school and very important, but like the connection of Harvard and government really got nailed in because of the Kennedys. Because they loved to hire people from Harvard. They loved people from that subset. And all the Kennedys are Harvard legacies.
Yeah.
So like, it's very difficult to not get into Harvard if
Yeah.
you're a Kennedy.
they're like, they have a hall there named after them. Or
Yeah,
something.
there's Kennedy shit named everywhere until they get renamed Trump. But anyway, he gets into Harvard where he would use cocaine and be accused.
Gotta get them good grades.
Yeah, he was accused by many different people of dealing controlled substances while studying for undergrad and his law degree.
Okay.
And also this kind of pulls in his brother David.
So he went to pharmaceutical school?
Kind of, in that sort of way. He actually went for his law degree. But he said that heroin actually helped him through this. So there is a clip.
Okay.
There is a clip of RFK that he said, and I quote, I'm not going to do the voice.
Okay.
Because the voice, as we all know, sounds like buttholes getting raked over a fucking washboard.
Yeah.
He said, I did very, very poorly in school until I started doing narcotics. Then I went to the top of my class because my mind was so restless and turbulent, I could not sit still. It worked for me. And if it still worked, I'd still be doing it.
Okay.
So basically, they didn't have ADD medication back then.
Yeah.
They also didn't have a diagnosis for ADD or ADHD.
Also, he
back
could
then.
be just dealing with childhood trauma.
Yes.
And not processing it, so he's trying to use coping mechanisms like drugs.
Yes, 100%.
Been there.
But like in all of these different things, cocaine, heroin, all this different stuff, like it's a way to reset to be able to get the brain. But
Yeah.
which is the same thing. Like Adderall is a barbiturate.
Yeah.
Adderall is like similar to speed in a lot of different ways. A lot of the different drugs, they react differently depending on people's brain chemistry. And so that's why like if you don't have ADHD and you take Adderall, you're like jittery and shaky and it's like you're on coke.
Yeah.
But if you have ADD and you take Adderall, you get very bland. You do smoke a lot of cigarettes though. Ask me how I know. But the big thing is he does get through school.
He gets through it.
He gets through school, but again, he has his brother David
Top
around.
of the class, bottom of the class.
He does pretty well.
Okay.
He does so well that he gets a nepo job in Manhattan.
So
to
you're
do the
telling me
networking.
RFK Jr. didn't have to go into Indeed.com, upload a PDF, and then re-enter all the same information onto it?
We'll get to RFK Jr. and PDF files later in this.
Whoa.
Okay. The chart comes into this. The chart does come into this, all right? So, 1982.
Okay.
Kennedy,
Great year.
Great year. Kennedy graduates from Harvard.
Okay.
And he immediately gets hired as an assistant district attorney for Manhattan.
Immediately.
He has not passed the bar yet.
So far, what I've learned is that there is, on the East Coast.
Yes.
On the East Coast specifically, it sounds like there is an elite class.
Yes.
A East Coastal elite class of people that are within their own network building and hoarding wealth and power.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But don't worry. Donald
Okay.
Trump is going to take him down.
Okay, great. He's going to take them down. Got it.
By being a part of it.
Yeah,
and hiring all of them.
Sure.
Like, that's how he's going to do it. In the article, they say the following. One other celebrity hire, John Jr.'s cousin, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., wound up resigning under a cloud of suspected drug abuse.
Uh-oh.
After being sworn in 1982, RFK Jr. failed the bar exam and resigned in July of 1983, saying he needed a rest. On September 16th...
Wait, so he never passed the bar that whole time?
While he was an ADA, he never passed the bar. While he was an assistant district attorney.
Jeez, even Kim Kardashian eventually passed the bar, right?
So, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
On September 16th, 1983, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was charged with heroin possession in Rapid City, South Dakota, a few days after he fell sick on an airplane there. He entered a 5-month drug treatment program and received a suspended sentence and 2 years probation. His lawyer told the New York Times that he, quote, started working as a volunteer for a legal fund devoted to environmental concerns, and he eventually was admitted to the New York State Bar in 1985.
Admitted or passed? Okay.
I think he passed. He finally passed.
Okay.
Yeah, in 1985.
85.
Yeah, 85.
All right.
3 years after he was hired as an assistant district attorney.
Yeah.
But this is...
So he was a paralegal. I went to paralegal school famously at, to bring it up again, Community College of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The Harvard of Philadelphia. And that's
by the way, but real quick.
cost, that tuition, not that expensive. I mean, expensive for me, not that expensive compared to actual Harvard.
Yeah.
To get a paralegal degree.
Can you stop calling it the Community College of Philadelphia and please just call it the CCP? Thank you.
Funny enough, we used to call it KKF.
KKF?
Yeah, Community College of Philadelphia.
Why with the K's?
Okay. It's a joke about how we weren't the brightest students.
Oh. I didn't know. I was confused.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Oh, okay. I got it. Got it. Because of classism?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Got it. I just want to I couldn't process the joke.
Yeah.
Because I went to Delaware County Community College.
Okay.
And we called it DC cubed.
Oh, okay.
You know, and that's what they called it. And I was like, oh, I guess that's a short way of saying it. But that was also the place where a man on LSD, the first day of school, asked me what building his class was in. And I looked at his piece of paper. I said, you're at the wrong campus because they have multiple campuses.
Yeah.
And then he yelled, thank you, Hobbit, and ran away.
In theory, was that just you talking to yourself?
It could have been. Because I did also famously drop out of DC Cube like 4 times before I finally got my associate's degree in general studies. Because listen, while we are talking shit on RFK doing heroin for 14 years, Mrs. P, you're sober.
Yeah.
And I've also had my dalliances and dabbles.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, listen, we're not here to yuck anybody's yum. We just want to point out 14 years of heroin. So, it was during this time that RFK married his first wife, Emily Black.
Emily Black.
Yes, he married her in 1982.
Sure.
And then all these different. So she's with him as he's on heroin, getting off of heroin, getting fired from the ADA, and starting working for the organization Riverkeeper.
Riverkeeper.
Yes, Riverkeeper. Now, here's the thing. This begins RFK's journey as a environmental lawyer. Okay. And as an environmental lawyer, he builds up huge notoriety. And what I want you to know is that in these moments, I'm about to tell you all of the good things RFK did.
Okay.
Because he actually did a lot of good things.
Okay.
And I'll tell you more of it right after this. If you keep waking up feeling like you lost a bar fight, it might be your crappy mattress. Make the switch to our favorite sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. I know we say a lot of our sponsors are our favorite, but honest to God, guys, this sponsor changed my fucking life. Every mattress is handcrafted in their Arizona factory with no gimmicks, no price gouging, with mattresses that suit every body type and every sleep style. Brooklyn Bedding has it all. You go to their site, you take a quick quiz. In less than 2 minutes, you can find out which mattress in their lineup is best for you. And Mrs. P?
We love our mattress.
That's all I have to say.
You know what I love? Sleep. A hard day of living through the horrors.
Yeah.
And now I need sleep. And I get the best night's sleep on my Brooklyn mattress.
And the Brooklyn Bedding mattress is so good. And that's why if you want to join us on your sleep journey today, go to brooklynbedding.com and use our promo code TOOMANY at checkout to get 30% off site-wide. This offer is not available anywhere else. That's brooklynbedding.com and promo code TOOMANY for 30% site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know that we sent you. BrooklynBetting.com, promo code too many. I think it's very important that people understand that he did do a lot of good things as an environmental lawyer and activist.
Yeah.
And this is part of the reason why people trust him when it comes to him destroying their health.
Oh, okay.
Because he has this background of being this like very altruistic hippie.
I only know one environmental lawyer, and it's the guy from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, yeah, the character in
The
How I Met
character.
Your Mother. Yes.
The only time I've ever met an environmental lawyer. I mean, I worked with tons of lawyers, but none that were environmental lawyers because.
Well, you didn't meet him. You watched him on a TV show.
No, that was the joke.
Oh,
that was the bit.
Gotcha.
But also the thing about environmental lawyers is that, in my experience, you don't really meet them that often is because they're usually just rich kids because you can only afford to practice environmental law if you've got a buffer of money somewhere.
And he had a huge buffer of money
Exactly.
being part of the Kennedy clan because they had all that prohibition money from all the bootlegging. So, Riverkeeper is an organization that's designed to protect the Hudson River. Okay, which is there in Manhattan, all this different stuff. And it builds up. Kennedy works at Riverkeeper. He builds out this amazing reputation. He gets really well known in upper crust social circles as being a do-gooder and an environmentalist. He then, from the work he does in Riverkeeper, he spurns it off to found an organization called Waterkeeper Alliance, which follows the blueprint of Riverkeeper, and it spreads internationally. It covers hundreds of organizations around the world to protect rivers, waterways, drinking water, and more. He through Waterkeeper in 2001, he launches a campaign that's called "Clean Coal is a Deadly Lie."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now I want to put a pin in that right now.
Okay, well, we'll remember that.
No.
later.
I'm going to put a pin in that because I want to bring you right to today. Because I just want to point this out for you real fast. Just real fast. Just to remind you.
Oh, no, he's loading a video of Donald Trump.
Yeah, okay. Just to remind you that this is who he works with now.
I call it beautiful, clean coal. I told my people never use the word coal unless you put beautiful, clean before it.
He fights against all of these huge polluters.
Yeah.
And again, this is good stuff he's doing.
Yeah.
The coal industry is bad. Our rivers should be clean. I want clean water.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want, he fights against, he pushes this thing called the New York City Watershed Agreement. He negotiates it. And through that, that's an agreement with New York City to set up like $1 billion fund that is pushing back to clean the waterways around New York.
Yeah.
He founded the Kennedy and Madonna law firm, LP.
Okay.
And Madonna is not the singer Madonna.
Oh,
it's not like a girl. That's just the name of this other lawyer's last name because that's the partnership.
I was really excited to hear about how Madonna got in on this.
They championed individuals' fights, individual and private plaintiffs' fights against major polluters like Ford Motor Company and DuPont. He worked with Morgan & Morgan law firm, who also, right now, they're a personal injury attorney.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of ads on social media and on podcasts and other stuff. With Morgan & Morgan, he took Monsanto to court.
Oh, okay.
Over Roundup concerns.
Oh, I've got concerns.
Yeah, well, everybody does. But Monsanto, and this is during the time when a lot of people are talking about Monsanto.
So he's Aaron Brockoviching.
He is.
Is that what I'm hearing?
He is Aaron.
He's got his cleavage out, and he's talking to the neighbors.
Yeah, let's talk about what he did internationally. Internationally, he worked with indigenous peoples all across both North, Central, and South America to protect their lands against multinational energy extraction companies like oil and gas industry, hydroelectric dams, logging, and even real estate developers and people that build out vacation rentals in a lot of these different places. He took on the United States government at one point because of Vieques.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Now we're talking about Puerto Rico.
Vieques, Puerto Rico.
My favorite island, Vieques. What was he doing in Vieques?
So in there, he went down.
Because they bombed it a lot.
Yes,
and it's got a lot of issues because of the bombing.
That's 100% what he was there for.
Yeah.
RFK and Al Sharpton.
What? Hold on. Okay. All right, hold on. I gotta change my seating.
Yes.
I'm listening.
Yeah. RFK and Al Sharpton went after, they tried to sue the U.S. government a few times to try to stop this bombing campaign that was happening. What they were doing is the U.S. Navy was testing munitions.
Yes.
They were doing live fire testing and bombing the shit out of this island over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And Kennedy was like, environmentally, this is terrible. Not just the explosions,
yeah.
but also the lead that's being left around from the fucking explosions, all these other different things that are happening. You're creating a Superfund site for no fucking reason.
Yes.
And this was in July of 2001. Kennedy, Al Sharpton, and a bunch of others trespassed onto the live fire range at Camp Garcia Vieques training facility that forced the suspension of the live fire training. RFK Jr., Al Sharpton, and others were then arrested and served 30 days in a maximum security Puerto Rican prison.
Yeah.
RFK actually later stated he enjoyed prison, writing in his journal, "I really needed a break, and this place is perfect."
You know what I was going to say? Honestly, if I was going to go to prison, I'd be okay in a Puerto Rican prison. The food would probably be great.
The food's probably great. I mean, they're also, they've been famous, not great conditions. But he was treated really well because, again, he's a Kennedy and he's a high-profile prisoner.
He was
at that
like
time.
the Chrisleys. He was like a Chrisley in prison, getting the Chick-fil-A and all that.
But what RFK did eventually lead to the end of the Bush administration's bombing of the island. Now, one could argue that RFK might not have done that because they didn't need to test the bombs on the island anymore because we were too busy shelling Iraq and Afghanistan for the next 10 years.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's like you don't quite need a live fire training zone anymore when you have other populations that you can then target and bomb.
Okay.
But again, he did do something to try to stop this. He did more than other people. And during this time, he had reached out to the Clintons about it. And the Clintons did not do it. And RFK actually has a journal entry that says in here that he was really mad that they didn't, he considered it a lost good deed that Bill Clinton didn't do during his presidency.
Yeah.
And he pointed out, I said, like Vieques is what he writes inside.
I have a question. Now, he's journaling?
We'll get
What
into
is
it.
this journal?
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it.
Okay.
We're gonna get into
Okay.
it because remember, also this is a time of pre-internet, so now people would tweet, they would do posts, and those different. That he was keeping journals.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? I'll go ahead and spoil. I'll jump ahead. I'm gonna jump ahead.
Okay, let's jump ahead.
Because as he explained to DJ Vlad, one from Vlad TV, in a 2024 interview, this is his 5th step journal.
I was gonna ask if that's what
It's
we're
his
doing.
5th step journal for when he
Okay.
gets sober through the 12-step program and
Yeah.
from other programs that he used. This is his 5th step journal.
Okay.
That was later found.
Oh shit!
yeah.
Somebody found it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We'll get into how that was found.
Uh-oh.
So, again, he's doing all this really great stuff. He also founds a venture partner group.
Okay.
That is specifically aimed at clean tech venture capital.
Clean tech.
Clean tech is non-oil, electric cars.
Okay.
Okay? It's called Vantage Point Capital Partners. It's an investment firm. Guess who they were the first people to invest in?
Oh, I'm gonna say
Tesla. Yep, Tesla. They were the original and largest initial pre-IPO investor in Tesla.
Okay.
So, but this was also before Elon's involved.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
All right.
Elon comes in later.
Yeah. He's like the light bulb guy.
Yeah. Somewhere in all of this, because I've now taken you like rapidly a little bit around from basically 1982 to 2001 as he's kind of building this out. During this time, he does divorce his first wife, Emily Black, because he couldn't stop cheating on her. And then he married his second wife, Mary Richardson.
Okay.
They got married on a boat in the Hudson River. Mary was 6 months pregnant at the time of their marriage.
She was on a boat at 6 months pregnant?
Yes.
Couldn't be me.
6 months pregnant on a boat.
No thanks.
RFK was freshly divorced 2.5 months earlier.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The
Yeah.
math isn't mathing.
Math is not
the
mathing.
math is, I can do some math. That's
Now-
not math.
Now, here's the thing. There's another tragedy that happens in this time. JFK Jr. dies in 1999.
Okay.
It's one of those things, because you brought up QAnon earlier. The JFK Jr. death
Yeah.
is a QAnon sticking point because accusations are thrown around at the Clintons a lot during this.
Yeah.
There are conspiracy theories that stated that JFK Jr. was going to run for the U.S. Senate seat that Hillary Clinton eventually ran for in 2000. It's not true. He never was going to run for that seat. But he also had a mysterious death. He, his wife, and I believe his sister got onto a private plane and they flew out during a bad storm. The plane crashed. I don't remember I didn't really look too much into it from what I remember.
Him and Carolyn.
Yeah, him and Carolyn. And from what I remember of it, like it took a while for them to find the black box, but there was like for a while they were missing. There was this big search for it. It was a very, very big news story.
Yeah.
With that happens. JFK Jr., gorgeous man. Here's a picture of JFK Jr.
So
and
handsome.
Bill Clinton.
And Carolyn was so beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were incredible.
It's one of those things where like we were recently talking because I don't know if this is going to be the big announcement on this podcast, but I don't know if you know Taylor Swift is engaged.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know.
And we were talking about it, and I was like, this is specifically for us. This is a Pennsylvania royal wedding right now.
Yeah.
This is some PA royalty happening
Yeah.
here. And there is something about Americana royalty. Like, we don't have kings, but we have like these little trappings of royalty that exist within our culture.
Yeah.
And I think Taylor Swift and Kelsey are getting that treatment right now.
Yeah.
And Carolyn and JFK had that treatment.
JFK Jr.
JFK Jr. They were very much this elite, royal, beautiful couple. And they were beloved.
But on top of that, they had the entirety of New York media behind them.
Yes.
They had the entirety of the Kennedy clan power behind them,
Yeah.
which is government power. They also had the
And they were always fighting in the park.
well, and they also had the love of the Clintons.
Yeah.
The Clintons, Bill Clinton specifically, was obsessed with JFK. And actually, here's this picture right here. This is JFK meeting Bill Clinton when Bill Clinton was 16 years old.
Oh.
It was a picture that was put around a lot during his 1992 presidential run. Bill Clinton has stated repeatedly that meeting JFK was one of the most important moments of his life. Bill Clinton and JFK have a very similar look, especially from their haircut. Like, Bill Clinton styled himself after JFK. He was a young man running for president, same as JFK was, all these different things. And the Kennedys actually embraced Clinton when he was running early in his life. Like, he had reached out through Democratic organizations to Teddy Kennedy and others. And so Teddy Kennedy was the head of the Kennedy family by that point. But again, he was always looking past them to see who the next one was. So he really tried to build up his relationship with JFK Jr. So when JFK Jr. tragically dies, there is a vacuum.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the handsome Kennedy now? RFK Jr. is put in place, honestly, kind of by the Clintons.
Oh.
Because they need a Kennedy face to tie in to Hillary's 2008 run.
I know that I'm only looking at him right now because I don't know what he looks like younger.
Yes, because right now he looks like a Ren and Stimpy.
Handsome. He's not giving handsome.
You got to see him in the 90s.
Okay.
All right? Like, he's on the cover of People magazine. Here, let me pull up
People magazine.
Look at him there.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, he's not the best looking guy.
Yeah.
But it's okay, I guess.
Yeah. Now, there's a little foreshadowing on this thing we're actually looking at. I don't know if you also... We'll get back into that in a minute. But, you know, he is handsome for what the 90s want to push on you, right? And 90s and early 2000s, the right touch-up, the right push in People magazine. Also, he's stepping forward. He's a do-gooder.
Yeah.
But he also looks a lot like his dad.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like RFK Sr., and a lot of people have a ton of goodwill for RFK Sr.
Sure.
Okay? So, the Clintons pony up to him. They really like to push. Hillary loves to push the idea of how to use his endorsement for environmental resume points and stuff like that. So getting the RFK Jr. endorsement is the equivalent of getting like the Sierra Club or getting Clean Water Action.
Got it.
That type of level for it. In his journal, when talking about Vieques, after the Clintons are about to leave power and with the Bush administration coming in, he wrote, I got a return phone call from Donald Rumsfeld, he writes, in January 16th, 2001, before the Bush administration takes power. Referring to the incoming Secretary of Defense. Yeah. Hillary Clinton told me to call him. Donald Rumsfeld was very jolly and told me a lot about his mother and how much he loves her. That's what he wrote. But again, this is part of, he's trying to use his pushes in this. Yeah. But he was mad at the Clintons. He thought the Clintons were assholes. He lost respect for Bill because Bill Clinton used his presidential pardon to pardon fugitive financier Mark Rich. Who did a whole thing and was hiding in Switzerland. Okay. And which is, again, we're talking about, oh, you care about presidential pardons? 1,500 fucking January 6ers marching in the streets right now, all free from jail. But anyway, you can just see, like, he had convictions, all these different things. But this brings us around to wife number 2. Okay, so
Mary.
Mary Richardson. And this is kind of where everything goes kind of fucking crazy. Okay, because Mary Richardson was his sister's private school roommate because they all went to boarding schools.
Okay, back to the networking.
Got it. Networking. So she knew them through them, and she was always kind of around. And she's from like a kind of connected family up in that area. But they get married in 94. In 1998, Mary Richardson Kennedy co-founded the Food Allergy Initiative. This is the largest fund for food allergy research.
Okay, give me some money. I got food allergies.
Exactly. But I
want a grant.
They did a lot.
Afford gluten-free bread.
But this is kind of where we get the start.
Okay.
Of the connections in vaccine shit.
Oh.
This is where that kind of starts.
I just wanted grant money for gluten-free food because it's so expensive.
I know you want grant money to eat. We're getting rid of those.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry. You're
Yeah, you're
describing
right.
SNAP benefits. Those are gone. In the late 1990s, while he's married to Mary, Kennedy was accused of sexually assaulting a babysitter, an act that RFK Jr. initially responded to when the accusations were brought up in 2024 by saying, quote, "I'm not a church boy." That's how he reacted to it.
That's not denying it.
He later apologized to the person who brought the accusations via text.
No.
In his text, he wrote, quote, "I have no memory of this incident, but I apologize sincerely for anything I ever did that made you feel uncomfortable or anything I did or said that offended you or hurt your feelings."
Oh, my God.
This is around the time that RFK's obsession with dead wild animals start to appear.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So all of a sudden he just starts getting into dead wild animals.
I don't know why.
That's a
we
weird.
We know about this. The first time it shows up in print is in 2012 in Town and Country magazine. A profile of Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s daughter, Kathleen Kennedy, also known as Kick Kennedy.
Kit. Okay.
Kick, like kick a football.
Like Kick, the streaming service for people that are Nazis?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Look at that. You see how I knew that?
Yeah, I know, because I've been telling you the places to make sure our son never fucking gets
Yeah.
information from.
You said to sign him up for that video game, right?
Roblox.
Yeah, he's big into that.
Yeah. Roblox, we're going to groom you. She tells a story in this magazine that's so insane.
All right.
About RFK Jr. hearing about a beached whale. And getting the family into the family minivan.
Okay.
Driving to Hyannisport, Massachusetts.
All right.
Getting a chainsaw.
Nope.
And chainsawing off the head of the dead beached whale. He then uses bungee cords to tie the dead beached whale's head, severed head, to the top of the minivan.
Okay.
Now, they have a problem.
Yeah.
The cords need to go through the windows, and
Yeah.
the smell is really bad, and the head is dripping.
No.
It's dripping viscera and whale guts and all this
Yeah.
different shit from it. And there's children in the van.
Yeah, they're full of
So
kids.
he gives the kids plastic bags.
to put on their heads?
Yes. And
That's the opposite. That's the one thing you're not supposed to do.
No,
Plastic
no,
bags.
he's a smart lawyer.
It says it on the plastic bags. You don't put them on their heads.
Look me in the eyes.
Yeah.
He tells them to cut holes in the bags.
No.
And they do. They cut mouth holes.
Not. Oh,
And she said, quote, he had plastic bags over our heads with mouth holes cut out. And people on the highway were giving us the finger. But that was just another normal day-to-day stuff for us.
No. Okay.
Because
okay.
they're literally in a minivan with the windows open.
Yeah. No. I'm
It's
picturing
blowing
it.
because they're driving. By the way, you know how long the drive is? Guess how long the drive was?
God, I'm hoping under 30 minutes.
It's 5 hours. They drove 5 hours
Oh, no. 5
with
hours
a
there,
dead
5
whale
hours
head.
back.
Yes,
It's
with
10
a
hours.
dead whale head strapped to the roof of their fucking van.
Why? What
And
was
again-
he gonna do with it?
And again, this isn't a hit piece. This was written in Town and Country magazine. It was a puff piece being written about his daughter. And they're like, any wacky stories? And she's like, well, one time my dad chainsawed a dead whale head.
No. Okay.
And the
Town
guy-
and
the way it was
Country
written up, yeah.
magazine is a magazine for when I want to read about Martha Stewart doing tablescapes while I'm in the OBGYN waiting room.
Yeah.
That's what Town and Country is for.
Now, I'm blocked by Kick Kennedy.
What?
I'm blocked by her on Instagram.
How? Okay. Number one, do we know when she blocked you?
Yeah, I approximately know. I believe it was around, it was probably like late October, early November 2024.
Oh,
because when this story re-broke by
Yeah.
somebody Googling it, being like, wait, what the fuck is this? I was like, wait, who is Kick Kennedy? So I went and found her Instagram and it was open. And she hadn't posted a lot, but she had this image right here.
Okay.
And this image is of RFK Jr. and two of his children, including Kick, standing over dead roadkill, holding various implements.
Yeah.
And underneath it says, chow time.
Okay.
And again, because like,
But what did they do with the whale head
I don't know.
when they got home? What
I
do
think
you
he
do
just
with
kept it. I think he just kept it. I think he was, because like, I think there's like I think is that like sharks? That there's like a jawbone? I don't fucking know. Whales are like mammals, so I think
Can
they have
we
like
just
actual.
ask him?
Somebody should.
Somebody. Use the Twitter. Ask him what happened to it.
I don't know. I think the only way that you can get an answer from him now is like if you are a senator. Like,
damn it.
But
Do I
anyway,
have to run for the Senate just to get answers?
that might be your platform.
Okay.
Mrs. P 2020.
Mrs. P 2028.
Yeah, Mrs. P 20. Because
We gotta find out.
Yeah, to run against Fetterman. Mrs. P 2028.
Oh, hell
looking
yeah.
for a whalehead.
Yeah, looking for answers.
Yeah, looking for answers on the whalehead.
Yeah.
In the late 2000s, Mary Richardson, his second wife, she was convinced that their house had mold issues because their children had allergies.
Okay.
And she started doing extensive renovations on their home in New York.
Okay.
And it's outside of New York City. It's in the suburbs. She also didn't love. He did kind of similar to what I did to you.
What's that?
She was like a New Yorker.
Oh.
And she was like a city gal, and he moved her out to the suburbs.
Oh, so she was slowly going crazy.
Slowly going crazy, and she thought the mold was affecting her children. Preview for J.K. Rowling. She thought they were. So she did these extensive renovations over 3 years.
Okay.
And by 2010, RFK filed for divorce from Mary Richardson.
So she was doing the Winchester house to her house?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
The Winchester house is a house that famously a woman went insane. She was married to the Winchester family. The owner believed that she was being stalked by ghosts.
So she had to create a maze in the home so the ghosts couldn't find her.
Because it was a Winchester rifle fortune. She believed the ghosts of everyone who'd been murdered by Winchester rifles, many of which were Native Americans, were chasing her through her California home.
Yeah.
So the home had to always be under development.
Always under development so that the ghosts would get lost in the corridors.
Yes.
It's pretty much one of the greatest haunted stories of all time.
Yes, and it is an actual house that you can visit. And there was a movie with lady who has great boobs. The actress with great boobs.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren, yes. See?
Did I just nail that?
Yeah, you did.
Hell yeah.
We watched it together. It was the only scary movie
I
ever
just was picturing good boobs.
We went to go see the movie. I think it was called Winchester. You and I went to go see the movie together.
You go see it.
It's the only scary movie I've ever let you take me to in theaters. I don't like scary movies.
I know.
And why would I pay? And why would I do it outside my home where I can't pause and walk away? Mm-hmm. And it was a terrible movie.
I don't think it was a great representation of the story.
No, it was not. It was a bad representation of the story. It also wasn't a very scary movie, and it was kind of like laughable.
And we didn't get to see Helen Mirren's boobs.
No, because she was dressed like a 1890s Victorian widow.
Boo.
Them boobs are all strapped up.
Boo.
Anyway, in the late 2000s, like I said, she was convinced about this mold issue. Before she's done the renovations, RFK files for the divorce. And part of this is also like, he talks about, and some other people talk about, like, she was having issues.
Yeah.
What those issues are, how serious they are, it's difficult to know. But I will note that 3 days after he filed for divorce, she was arrested for a DUI.
Okay.
Driving under the influence. She was also drinking heavily at the time. Mm-hmm. RFK was given full temporary custody of all 4 of their children.
Okay.
He cut her off financially. He shut down her credit cards and other different things were happening. There was
that's
also
fucked up.
Yeah, there was also some other different things. She was prescribed to antidepressants. Mm-hmm. And the thing is Mary was also very Catholic and didn't believe in divorce. She was trying to figure out how to rectify the marriage. Mm-hmm. And again, the divorce was very contentious, so she was drinking and doing other things to keep her out.
In my opinion, financially abusing her.
Yes.
Because if you are cutting someone off from funds and you are the person in charge of funds for a household like that, that's a form of financial abuse.
And she was living a trad wife lifestyle where he is supposed to be in charge of the household.
Exactly.
And especially that means financially and other things. The Kennedy clan also themselves, they were accused by members of Mary's family, specifically her siblings, of like basically trying to be a good girl and roll over. There's like a lot of that involved. But this is also where the brainworm comes in.
Wait, what?
This is where the brainworm story happens.
Okay. I'm excited to hear where it comes from.
So,
the whale, he ate it.
Kennedy claims that he started experiencing severe short and long-term memory loss and brain fog, mental fog, in 2010. And in a 2012 divorce court deposition, he attributed neurological issues to, quote, a worm that got into my brain and ate a portion of it and then died.
Okay, so he said in court documents that there was a brain worm that ate some of his brain and died in his skull.
Yes.
Because I recall you explained this to me once.
In a TikTok video.
TikTok.
Yes.
And I said, I'm sorry, what are you talking about, sir?
Yes. And that TikTok got the RFK camp to call me a psyop and a federal agent because they said the only reason
still dealing with the repercussions of that TikTok.
Yes, and that's why like doing this episode is fucking crazy for me. But in this moment this came out in 2024.
Yeah.
Because the Washington Post, before Jeff Bezos went full evil on the Post, the Washington Post found the deposition where he was stating this. This was, remember, RFK Jr. is a lawyer. And part of what he was fighting against in this was alimony. And he was trying to claim that he himself was disabled. And his disability was that a worm crawled inside of his brain, ate a chunk of it, then died. Also, he claimed he had mercury poisoning from eating large quantities of tuna.
Okay.
Which is a thing.
Yeah, that's a lot of tuna.
But again, and this part of this is with mercury, the tie-in to this, and we'll get into mercury with vaccines and RFK and mercury and vaccines later.
Yeah.
The tie-in is that fish did and do have higher levels of tuna.
Yeah.
I mean, so of mercury in them because of dumping into the riverways. And through his work with Riverkeeper, we did have mercury poisoning levels in our tuna.
But that's why you don't chop off the head of a whale and eat the head of a whale. You're going to get mercury poisoning.
So the thing is that this is shortly around the time when his uncle died of a brain tumor. Teddy Kennedy died of a brain tumor.
Oh.
RFK was kind of freaked out about a brain tumor. He reached out to doctors, and he was getting ready because he had some CAT scans and MRIs. He was getting ready to travel to North Carolina to go to Duke University to go to the same doctor that treated his uncle for a brain tumor.
Duke
University.
Boo.
Boo. You're welcome, Magistra Perlman, who went to
that one goes
Chapel
out to
Hill.
your mom because you made fun of her cooking.
I know. It's not my fault. It's hers. She could have learned. But he was about to try, in his words, he was about to travel to Duke University to be operated on.
Okay.
When a separate doctor in New York City reached out to him and said, hey, I took another look at the scan. It's not a tumor.
Okay.
A worm crawled in there and died. And he went, great.
No.
In the 2012 deposition, he stated, quote, I have cognitive problems, clearly. I have short-term memory loss. I have longer-term memory loss. That affects me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so in this deposition, he's talking about why he has to get divorced?
This is why he shouldn't pay her alimony.
Because he's forgetful?
Because he needs the money in case he needs longer-term care.
Oh, I see what
this is also this kind of like, I'm disabled. She's trying to take advantage of me. She should just go get a job.
And this is why you shouldn't become a trad wife, y'all.
Because especially when married to a lawyer, because they will fuck you.
Yeah.
While cheating on you.
Yeah.
A lot.
How many times?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Because I just want to point out, the man who's in charge of the CDC, the FDA,
okay,
the Health and Human Services,
right now,
Medicare, Medicaid,
okay,
our hospitals, all this different shit, claimed in 2012 that he shouldn't pay alimony because a worm crawled into his brain, ate a chunk of it, and died.
Yeah, in there.
And he never denied it.
Yeah.
He never denied it. In an interview with The Times, he said that he had recovered from the memory loss and fogginess and had no after effects of the parasite, and he didn't require any treatment from it. He said, oopsie daisy, it went away.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. RFK cheated on his wife a lot.
Yeah.
He cheated on his wife 37 times.
Honestly, that's more than a full-time job.
In 2001.
In 1 year?
That we know of by 2001. From 1994 to 2001.
God. Okay.
In his fifth step journal.
Okay.
In his fifth step journal.
I'm listening. I'm not okay.
He wrote down how many times he had cheated on.
Yeah, you do got to write that down.
You're supposed to write that type of stuff down.
Yeah, you got to write that down. I want to follow up. Just to clarify, you write that down so that you can acknowledge the wrongs you've done to others and then make amends with them. You're supposed to apologize and correct the behavior. That's part of that. Is you write it down.
So
and
he
then
didn't do that.
Correct the behavior.
He put it. In his words, he put it inside of a safe. And then when Mary was having one of her spells, she broke into the safe and found this. Then gave it to her sisters. And told them, hold on to this in case anything happens to me. And then she was found hanging in a barn.
Holy fuck!
Guess who found her body?
I don't know.
RFK Jr.
Okay, I don't like that. That's suspicious. Do we have a suspicious button?
I have
suspicious.
I have the most I can do is this button.
Allegedly.
It wasn't alleged. You just said it.
No, I know. I'm just alleging the suspicious.
I'm just saying, in my opinion, it's suspicious.
I'm just saying that
anytime you give somebody a thing and say, if anything happens to me, it was this thing. That's like a thing.
Yeah.
From the mafioso family?
His claim was that they hadn't heard from her. They had hung up a phone call on bad terms. He went over to the house and then he and the housekeeper searched for her throughout the house, and then he found her in the barn. The divorce was never finalized. The suicide ended the marriage.
Oh, she passed away before
Yes.
Wow.
Which meant he was still in control of her body.
No, don't bury her on a golf course.
She wasn't buried in a golf course.
Okay.
She was buried in the Kennedy family plot after a legal battle between RFK and her siblings.
Did they not want her there?
They wanted her to be buried with her family because
Yeah.
they said, you guys were in the middle of a divorce. This is crazy. She should be over on this side.
Yeah.
And he said no, and he fought to have her buried. And then he moved her to an unmarked grave.
So he golf coursed her.
Yeah, he said that apparently he bought 50 plots and then put her in the middle of it. And then they moved a different family member, another family Kennedy member who OD'd next to hers. Eventually, it did get its own gravestone marker.
Gee, that's evil as fuck.
But the good news, it cleared the way for marriage number 3.
Should we take a break? I need to recalibrate.
You need to recalibrate after that?
Yeah.
You probably already know about HelloFresh. They send chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients to your home. But this summer, they made their biggest menu upgrade yet. Everything HelloFresh makes is now bigger, healthier, and tastier. HelloFresh has doubled its menu, now with bigger portions. Choose from 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. And with their new veggie pack recipes that have 2 or more veggies, you'll be eating greener than ever. Y'all, listen, we love a HelloFresh because sometimes running to the grocery store, it is honestly time and cost prohibitive. But being able to have these meals delivered directly to our front door where we can pop them open and have something fresh and handcrafted, a lot of times Mrs. P and I will have the kid there watching us as we chop up some vegetables together and follow those amazing and wonderful recipes. Are you looking for something a little off menu? Get steak and seafood recipes delivered every week for no extra cost. There's 3 times more seafood on the menu now at no extra cost. Whoa! The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/tabs10FM and get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. 1 per box with an active subscription. Free meals are applied at discount on the first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/tabs10FM for 10 free meals plus a free item for life. And we're back to talk about wedding bells for marriage number 3.
No, I'm concerned for wife number 3 at this point. Who is she?
Cheryl Hines.
Oh, wait a minute. I fucking hate that lady.
Yeah, Cheryl Hines from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Want to know why I hate her?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, here's the thing. She was on Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? So I knew her from that.
Yeah.
And then she had a podcast with Tig Notaro.
Oh, yeah.
Who I love.
Yeah, we love a Tig Notaro.
I love Tig Notaro. I love her dry sense of humor. Oh my God. And then she had a podcast with her. And then when this whole RFK Jr. stuff started happening, I guess when they got married or started dating, that ended the podcast because I'm assuming, this is alleged, there is no proof of this, but Tig Notaro was like, why are you aligned with this psycho dude?
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Well, so they got married in 2014.
Okay.
But they were already dating at the time of Mary Richardson's death.
Why is it? Okay. This is real scumbag behavior.
This is kind of Bluebeard behavior. Like the fairy tale about Bluebeard. Like that's very much like what it is. And with his consumption of methylene blue, like he couldn't possibly grow a blue beard.
Yup.
But so he around 2014 when he marries Cheryl Hines, this is also when we get into the dead bear of it all.
That's the time in the city park.
Yes, the bear cub.
Yeah.
So RFK. Again, this story comes out in 2024.
Yeah.
When RFK is running for president. And
Yeah.
we're going to get to that a little bit later in this. But in an Instagram video that he releases, I believe that he does as a collab post with Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
He proceeds to explain why he abandoned a dead bear carcass in Central Park and then placed a bicycle on top of it, which led to a New York Police Department investigation into the mysterious dead bear cub that should not be in the center of Manhattan.
Like, why?
He proceeds to start telling this story, and you can even watch Roseanne Barr's face during it, like being like, "What the fuck is happening?"
If you are making Roseanne Barr be like, "Hey, that's crazy,"
Yeah,
because she's cuckoo
she's
bananas.
fucking nuts. Roseanne Barr's insane.
Yeah,
and she's gone regressively insane, not progressively insane over the years. But basically, the New Yorker was working on a piece about it, and actually, like a lot of the stuff when you're reading into more about RFK Jr.'s past, a lot of it is New York Magazine, the New Yorker, the New York Times, New York Post, because again, he was in that New York society set.
Yeah.
So he's in that group, and because he's also doing the stuff, the environmental side of things. Once he gets Cheryl Hines, that brings in even more of the celebrities.
Yeah.
And so when this fucking bear story comes out, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that was weird.
Basically, he tells this story about how he was driving and he either saw, that's the part I'm confused on, how long the bear cub had been dead. A bear cub had definitely been hit by a car because the New York coroner's office figured that out.
Yeah.
When they looked at it, I was like, this bear was hit by blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
Bigger than a bicycle.
Yeah.
Because when they found it, there was a bicycle on top of it.
He wanted people to think that the bear was riding the bicycle like a little circus.
No,
animal.
he wanted people to think the bicycle killed the bear.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way he describes the story. Basically, he saw a dead bear cub on the side of the road.
Okay.
In his words, he looked at it and said, "That's good eating."
His words.
He wanted to take it back, and he
No.
wanted to skin
No.
and eat the bear, but he had a problem.
What was it?
Which is he had to go to a dinner in New York City.
Oh, no.
So the bear was in the back of his van.
He's still driving that minivan with the whale juice on it.
Yeah, and so he
He's
drives
not
to New York City.
upgrading in the car yet.
He drives to New York City, and I can only imagine that this psycho paid a valet. I can only imagine. There's absolutely no way he street parked this van.
Yeah.
So he has a dead baby bear in the trunk, and of a minivan, which are open air.
Yeah.
So it's not like it has it covered, over it. Maybe he put a blanket over it. I don't know.
Oh my God.
But he's there, and the dinner runs late.
Oh.
And he has to catch a flight.
Okay.
So he's, what do I got to do with this fucking bear? And he decides to take it to Central Park in New York City.
Carrying a dead bear through Central Park.
I guess. I don't know how he
New
get
York
it.
City, no questions asked.
Nobody's questioning this man.
I'm not making eye contact. I'm not looking.
He has in the back of the van, there's a bicycle and a dead baby bear carcass.
Yeah.
He puts that off the side of a pathway somewhere in Central Park, puts the bicycle on top of it, drives away like the Riddler, and then hops on a flight and flies away.
I just know that the beat cop that got called to that was like, we could run Prince, and I know it's going to be a Kennedy.
He claimed that the people at the dinner put him up to it. That he was like, I got to figure out what to do with this dead bear. Maybe I'll just throw it in a dumpster or something. And they were all hammered.
Yeah.
And they're like, it'd be so funny if you put it in the park. What if we make it look like a bicyclist did it? I'm like, okay, but you are famously sober.
Yeah.
Under your own statements, you don't do anything.
Yeah.
And you're taking advice from drunk people on what to do with a dead baby bear carcass.
Got it.
And so he puts out this video with Roseanne Barr to get ahead of the story.
Yeah.
And it's such a
He's
fucking...
like, no, I'll tell my side, then people will understand.
Yeah. Anyway. This whole marriage to him and Cheryl Hines, and also him dating Cheryl Hines.
I was thinking about another time I saw Cheryl Hines and I didn't like her.
Oh, go ahead.
I was in the waiting room of a doctor's office. And you know how in the waiting rooms, when they don't have magazines anymore, they just put on HGTV?
Yeah.
I fucking hate HGTV. I will stand 10 toes down and say, I fucking hate HGTV. It's boring, except for that one Trixie Mattel show, which I don't know if that was on HGTV
I
or
was
not.
with you during
Yes, you were with me.
Because this was when we were going for like an ultrasound.
Yeah.
I remember this very clearly.
And I was stuck watching HGTV, and it was a home show, and it was Cheryl Hines doing like her home renovations. And I was like, God, I hate this woman.
Yeah.
She was so insufferable.
Yeah, and I think it was like for like her housekeeper or something, right?
Yeah, it was like she was doing somebody else's house.
Yeah, but it was like for somebody like in her life, and I think both of us
I
were
feel like she wasn't wearing shoes, and I was mad about it.
We just kept yelling at the TV, just pay her more. Just
Yeah.
pay her more. What are you doing?
So I just
It was
every time I see her, I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
You brought her up again and I got annoyed.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I've never really liked her. I've never really been a big fan of Curb anyway. So it's
crazy.
It's
that's going to be the most controversial take on this.
I just don't like Curb. We've talked about this before.
know.
I don't like Seinfeld. I don't like Curb. I don't like that form of. To me, it's very cringe humor. It's very much of look at this idiot doing idiot things, and then the world around him reacting. And everyone's like, "Oh, look at him, he's so fucking stupid." I'm like, or somebody should take Larry David's hand, sit him down, and be like, "You're being unreasonable."
Yeah, you might just be a jerk.
Yeah, you're an asshole, and I don't understand. I don't understand who I'm rooting for in these fucking shows.
You're not.
There's small moments here and there that I've seen clipped. I'm like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like there's small things where he's that's funny, but like the rest of it, there's so many parts of it, like where that one lady comes in just screaming at him that you're an asshole. I'm like, yes, he is.
Yeah.
Why is this a show? Why are any of these people being paid millions of dollars? It never made sense to me.
Well.
Anyway, enough about that. Now the issue we get into right here is that Cheryl introduces RFK really to like the upper echelon of crazies.
Oh, okay. So Cheryl's the gateway to the even crazier people?
Because she's the one who introduces him to celebrities.
Yeah. Yeah.
And celebrities, they're dumb.
Yeah.
They're so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And this is where we start to really kind of build out the cult of RFK Jr. because he can start to tell more and more people about his true passion, and they have more and more platforms to be able to get him on stuff.
Oh, so he's Jared Letoing it up.
His true passion is not the environment.
No.
It's vaccines and how he hates them.
Well,
And I just want to remind you that he is in charge of the vaccines.
Yeah.
He's in charge of them now. And as of time of recording, he has fired the vaccine council and is replacing them. And the CDC head was just removed along with other different people because, in his words, RFK Jr. believes that vaccines cause autism and many other things. That vaccines,
which that was debunked, right? Because that was like the thing
Many
that Jenny
times.
McCarthy said.
yes.
And then
Jenny McCarthy got it from RFK Jr.
No.
Yeah. It's the opposite of what a lot of people think because in 2005, RFK Jr. wrote an article for Salon and Rolling Stone magazine.
Okay.
The article was titled Deadly Immunity, and in it, he claimed that the CDC colluded with Big Pharma to hide claims that vaccines, like the MMR vaccine, were causing autism through thiomurosol.
Okay.
That's a mercury-based preservative.
Got it.
So basically, what he's claiming this entire time, and again, because of his work in Riverkeepers and his concern about mercury, he's claiming that all of these different vaccines have mercury in them and that mercury is making people autistic.
Got it.
And he's basing this on research specifically about the MMR vaccine. And that debunked research is what Jenny McCarthy then later leans on. And MMR, by the way.
And now she sells cheap lip gloss on TikTok Shop.
On TikTok Live.
TikTok Live. I see her all the time.
All the time.
I block her and then she keeps coming back.
She figures out ways around
and
the
I'm
bans.
like, I don't want your cheap lip gloss.
But MMR is measles, mumps, rubella.
Yep.
And there was a doctor in England, and the H-Bomber guy does a video about this. A lot of different people have talked and debunked all this different stuff around autism and vaccines and all these different things. Actually, one of my favorite ones about it is Penn and Teller Bullshit.
Yep.
That I had on DVD, which came out around this time. Because they really pushed back on vaccine. They were calling it like vaccine hesitancy.
You gotta giggle at the fact that the magicians had to come out against this.
The magicians always come out against it.
The magicians had to come out against it.
Magicians are the number one debunkers of quackery.
Yeah.
I mean, there's what's his name? The Magnificent Randy, Penn and Teller, all these other Houdini. Houdini was a famous debunker.
Yeah.
For quackery, and also a famous debunker of mystics and psychics and all these other different fucking people.
If you want to debunk quackery, check out our new shirt.
Oh, the one I'm wearing. I forget to plug it.
Oh yeah, Honks and Quacks.
If you want to support us on pushing back against quackery, find our Honks
If you
Not
want to
Quack
tell
shirt.
your friends and family
Yeah.
that you don't support quackery, we also have totes. You guys emailed me and inboxed me that you'd prefer a tote to go to the library, to get your groceries, to go to the CSA and pick up your vegetables.
Or, as you put in the description, to buy more kratom.
I said, fill up the tote with kratom. Here
Yeah,
you go.
but the in this article, he's pushing this, and the whole thing with the MMR vaccine, which a lot of people don't know, the guy who made the initial research paper that said that the combined vaccine was bad.
Yeah.
Was trying to push his own vaccine.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying all vaccines were bad. He was trying to claim that the combined 1 part vaccine, single shot dose, was doing something. So that way, people would then want to buy his 3-shot dose. He wasn't saying give kids no shots. He was saying give kids more shots. And then whisper down the lane turned into all shots bad. Because he was saying 1 shot bad. So they said 1 shot bad equals no shots good. And he was like, no, 1 shot bad, 3 shots good.
He was just trying to be like, no, my cherry Pepsi tastes better than cherry Coke.
Yes, 100%.
And then everybody was just like, don't drink soda, it's bad for you. And
actually what he was trying to do was he was going, don't buy Coca-Cola, buy SodaStream. And you're like, what do you mean the Israelis are involved? Anyway,
whoa.
We'll get to that. I'm dead serious.
What?
This article it was written in both Salon magazine and Rolling Stone. It was dual published.
Okay.
In both.
Rolling Stone, who just put you at number 26, right?
I'm the number 26 of the top 25 content creators of 2025. Me and Mr. Beast have similar thoughts on who outranks us. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Beast, for making sure that I didn't post anything that fucking stupid. You're an example to us all, old dead eyes. So this article was immediately under fire the second it was posted. And Salon and Rolling Stone actually traded accusations against each other because both said that the other one thought that they were going to do the background checks on it.
Oh my God, that's so fun. I thought you were going to do the work.
I thought you were going to work. And so like immediately they had to issue almost 5 retractions like almost immediately because medical professionals read it and were like, the fuck are you talking about? And again, we're not medical professionals, so it's hard for us to really get into the details of what they mean by like percentages and all these different things in there. Eventually, by 2011, because the anti-vax movement starts to build more and more, it's starting to be pushed by people like Bill Maher and others on their shows.
Oh, fuck Bill Maher.
It's one of those all day, every day. All day, every day.
Fuck Bill Maher.
Fuck Bill Maher. All of these different fucking people, there starts to be a pushback against anti-vax shit. And so Salon finally retracts the entire piece in 2011.
Okay.
RFK would later claim that this is government censorship when he goes on Joe Rogan.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
In 2014, because the articles are getting pulled, Kennedy released a book, Thimerosal, Let the Science Speak, the evidence supporting the immediate removal of mercury, a known neurotoxin from vaccines. That's the full title.
Bad titling. You
It's a
gotta
terrible
be more
plot.
succinct, guys.
In 2015, Kennedy...
He didn't have ChatGPT yet.
No, he did not figure out how to clickbait down this title. You won't believe how RFK Jr. is trying to kill your baby.
I mean, that's going to be our title, right?
I think that might actually be, that might be a pretty good title. In 2015, Kennedy became the chair of the World Mercury Project.
Oh my God. Okay.
Now, what do you think when you hear World Mercury Project?
Immediately I'm thinking they're the label on the tuna fish can. That's like I'm thinking. Because when I was pregnant, I needed to eat a lot of protein per my doctor. And they said, you can eat tuna. We recommend fish. But you have to get the low mercury special tuna that's more expensive at Wegmans. It's the more expensive tuna. It's annoying. And so it had a little label. And so right now I'm thinking maybe that was the little label that said less mercury in my tuna fish.
No, so this is an anti-vaccine and anti-fluoride advocacy group.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, we're on the teeth now, baby.
Yeah. Okay, we got to put our teeth in the sun. We learned that in Liver King.
Yeah, so this was like a pretty fringe group that not a lot of people like donated money to.
Yeah.
Because again, but then RFK Jr. joins it.
Okay.
And he gets in charge of it. He becomes the chair. And so before he joined it, they brought in $13,000 annually in revenue.
Sure.
So that's donations and other things like that.
How much do they get after he joins?
The year after he joins, they're up to $470,000.
In my mind, RFK Jr. is like a not as handsome Bruce Wayne. Who's just like at these New York parties? Oh yeah, he's socializing and like getting people to donate to stuff. Like he's like Bruce Wayne.
That's 100%. But that's what he knows how to do. I mean, he knows how to go to galas. Yeah. He knows how to do this.
He's just doing the gala part, but not fighting crime in any way.
But think about this. It's called the World Mercury Project. He's the river guy, and he's been pushing back against groups like Monsanto's and oil companies dumping into our rivers.
Update. He's the penguin.
He's been pushing against mercury levels in our waterways, which is a thing we need to be worried about.
Yeah.
And so when he goes to people like, I got this idea, I'm working to get rid of Mercury.
You said you weren't going to do the voice.
I'm doing it now because I'm being a dick about it. But when he starts doing this part about the World Mercury Project, I'm sure the old people he's talking go, okay, Bobby, we'll give you money. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's going to famous people. He's going to people with a lot of money. He's going to these events where all these people are, and he's speaking. And he is a good speaker. He is a trained lawyer. He is... So I know now that his voice sounds like a butthole that's being ripped apart by a whole cage of bees. Yeah. But in reality, like he was before that voice got worse, he's a very compelling speaker. Yeah. And he knows how to just pepper in stuff. I'd say he sounds like Star Trek lingo. Sometimes when Star Trek is trying to explain a sciencey thing to you, they just go literally in the script, they just write science, science, science. Yeah. And they just go, wibbly wobbly science words at you. And then eventually they figure out they go to a fucking person to figure out how to make that work. Yeah. RFK doesn't have to do that. No. He just throws science terms at you and you don't know.
And Joe Rogan's not going to ask any follow-up questions.
Joe Rogan's not, but also more importantly, a rich socialite doesn't want to look like a fucking idiot.
No, they just want to write the check
fucking
to the
Leonardo DiCaprio or other fucking people of that level who've been giving him money for his environmental work don't want to look that fucking stupid. So they're throwing money at it until eventually they'll get pushback that, hey, this guy is really running an anti-vaccine organization. And this group is called World Mercury Project until it changes their name to Children's Health Defense in 2018.
Oh, I don't like that.
Through this group, they've alleged that a large portion of American children have conditions as diverse as autism, ADHD, food allergies, cancer, autoimmune disease, and all other things due to exposure to a variety of chemicals and radiation.
I have all these things.
Yeah. But they claim that the chemicals and radiation that have been placed in vaccines, pesticides, fluoridization of drinking water, acetaminophen, which is just aspirin, aluminum, and wireless communications. They're into the 5G now.
5G.
Yeah. But the thing is like, could there be something here? Yes. I'm not saying there's not something here about any of these different things. Yeah. I'm saying that these guys from this organization now have a financial need to get you to donate money to them. Mm-hmm. So that way...
Because he pulls the salary, right?
Yes, at the end of this.
Because, just, again, one of my usual nonprofits sometimes can be scams, and I would like to talk about nonprofits, is like when you run a nonprofit and you're starting a nonprofit and you're getting donations and grants and you're going out to help the community, the people running the nonprofit still get a salary. Yeah. And as a leader of his nonprofit, he gets to pick his salary. And so he could be paying himself $400,000 a year.
Oh, you fool. You don't think he'd only pay himself $400,000 a year? Can I tell you how much he paid?
Yeah. How much is his salary?
The last full year that he was the chair, after taxes, he made $836,571.
So, yeah.
In 1 year.
He has a reason to keep pushing this idea because he's making over $800,000 a year just pushing this idea.
After taxes.
After taxes.
Which means before taxes, probably over $1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that because people just assume nonprofit work, we're not making a lot of money. The people at the top of the nonprofits, the CEOs, the founders, they're making a butt ton of money. The people that are on the streets helping people that don't have homes or people that are hungry are making $40K a year maybe and used to qualify for SNAP before it got defunded. So it's just like we have this idea of that when people work for nonprofits, they make no money, but the people at the top of them do make money, which is why they can push this idea.
Yeah. 100%. And then on top of that, he's getting further and further tied in with more and more groups that are pushing quack and alternative medicine science, especially around vaccines. So like he has a financial incentive is the word I've been looking for. Financial incentive to continue this search.
Can I tell you something I'm thinking off the bat? Yeah. And I've been thinking it for a couple bits of information now. And this is going to sound very judgmental of me. And I admit that at the gate. But as someone who is a recovering drug addict and alcoholic, I feel as though I'm allowed to say this. I have personal beef with someone who has admitted to doing intravenous drugs, talking about vaccines and needles.
So I have a theory.
Yeah.
I have a theory because during COVID, it came up a lot that a lot of people that were vaccine hesitant, a big percentage of them, if it wasn't in a needle, would take it.
Yeah.
And it's because a lot of people have a fear of needles. And I think that in his case, I think that he looks at the needles and sees the needle as the problem of the heroin. I think in his case, it's one of those weird things.
Maybe. Cause no, there's like this whole subsect of people I've met in my life. There's always going to be a subsect of people that get sober off of drugs and alcohol. And then suddenly they're like, oh, I only eat organic and clean. And I don't even take Tylenol. And I'm like, bitch, I watched you do a line off of a toilet in McGlinchey's. Don't try to tell me about clean eating. But suddenly they all get this moral superiority when they get sober and they think that they're better than the way they used to live, which you are. You're better now that you're sober. I get it. But it's like, I have a personal thing where I'm like, you can't look. I remember one time I cursed this girl out that I was working with who was trying to tell me about how she was going vegan and I shouldn't be doing this and blah, blah. And I was like, bitch, don't tell me about this. I've seen the drugs you do. Currently, she wasn't sober.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. There's just something there that it tickles a certain part of my brain.
There's a big thing that's always being pushed, especially in alternative medicine, that all of these people are doing it altruistically.
Yeah.
When at the end of the day, there's a financial incentive.
They're making money.
They're making money.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. Listen, in our George Dale episode, we talked about George Dale fighting against the Klan. And at the end, his own son said he fought against the Klan not because it was the right thing to do, but because he saw a financial incentive for an unserved population, which were people that were anti-Klan.
Yeah.
And as a newspaper person, for RFK Jr., this is a dual combination. He's making a shit ton of money. He's making more money he's ever made in his entire fucking life, even though he doesn't really need it because he's a fucking Kennedy.
Yeah.
On top of that, though, he's now, with every passing day and year, he's getting more and more fanatical followers who are calling him basically a messiah, who are going to save all of our children. And the things that the kids are up against are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and scarier and scarier and scarier. And only RFK can protect them.
Yeah, and if you make a TikTok making fun of his brainworm that he said he had,
yeah,
suddenly we're the bad guys.
Exactly, 100%. And so the thing is when he really takes off, more than anything else, because he's kind of building in the background and people are kind of torn to go after him. He's also being protected by the Kennedys during this whole time.
Yeah.
The Kennedy clan and the Kennedy clout protects them from a lot of pushback from like things that other people would get called out for crashing out on.
Yeah, for sure.
Like his weird, at this point, by 2019, we're talking about a 14-year, did 14 years of heroin. Now he's done 14 years of screaming that the needles for kids are bad. You know what I mean? Like, so we're at this point. And the reason why I say 2019 is that's a very pivotal year for him because it gives him practice to get ready to take advantage of 2020.
Oh,
and we'll talk about that and how he helped kill 79 people in Samoa right after this. All right, Mrs. P, this section is going to be dark.
Okay.
Because we're going to talk about a measles outbreak and we're also going to talk about COVID.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to talk about how RFK took advantage of both and how that led to death.
Yeah.
Because he's specifically involved in a lot of this. Okay. So, Kennedy, did you ever hear about the measles outbreak in Samoa? Heard anything about this?
I've heard bits and pieces about it because it was brought up
during the campaign. Okay. So on July 6, 2018, in Samoa, the island nation of Samoa, 2 12-month-old children died after receiving MMR vaccinations.
Okay.
They weren't killed by the vaccine.
All right.
They were killed due to an incorrect preparation by 2 nurses of the vaccine.
Oh, that's awful.
There was an issue of something that was expired that got inside the needle, and that's what killed the children.
Oh, my gosh.
And this incited huge vaccination fears across the island, but also, again, Samoa being an underserved population in general, went from having a 90% vaccination rate in 2013 to dropping all the way down to a 34% vaccination rate in 2018.
Yeah.
So they had been plummeting. Actually, it went down even more. Sorry, it was 31% in Samoa. Nearby islands they had 99% vaccination rates. And so this was bad.
Yeah.
In March 2019, the WHO, the World Health Organization, and the UN's Children Agency, UNICEF, warned the general Pacific to take proactive measures and improve immunization rates.
Yeah.
Because they said, we're seeing measles outbreaks. And the reason we're seeing measles outbreaks is because anti-vaxxers are pushing this wherever they can push it.
Yeah.
Because wherever they push this, they make money.
Yeah.
And where they've been pushing this have been oftentimes underserved communities. And also spreading into the third world, especially. And what I mean by that is areas like Africa, areas like Asia, and Central Asia. Mm-hmm. In fact, the CIA helped ruin the vaccination rates in Pakistan because it's part of the way that they used blood testing and DNA testing to track down Osama bin Laden by claiming they were doing vaccinations when in reality they were doing blood draws.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So there is shit in here.
Yo, the CIA is like hella evil all the time.
I mean,
you never hear a CIA story where you're like, oh yeah, they're good people.
We'll get into it. So
in this episode?
Yes. In 2019, the American anti-vaccination activist, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., visited Samoa. He went there in June.
Great.
June 2019. He met with anti-vaccination activists, some from New Zealand and Australia. They were all meeting in the Pacific. He stated that they were medical freedom heroes. He discussed vaccines with the Prime Minister of Samoa, and he went on social media and campaigned against vaccination. And a lot of it has this feel of like, look at how we used to be before vaccines, before industrialization. Again, this is aimed at that crunchy pipeline.
Yeah.
Think of the people who go do like tourism down to Costa Rica and they do their yoga retreats and pop in,
they put their buttholes in the sun.
All that different type of stuff. It's very much inside of that. But look, we're fighting back against industrialization as the fear, right?
Yeah.
That's June 2019.
Okay.
He comes, he does his events, he leaves. August 2019, a couple months later, an infected passenger on one of the more than 8,000 annual flights between New Zealand and Samoa brought the disease to the island. An outbreak begins across the island in 2019 and continues to ravage the island for 4 months. Before seeking proper medical treatment, some parents first took their children to traditional healers because, again, they had been pushed that the vaccine will kill the kids.
Yeah.
The traditional healers used machines purchased by anti-vax people that claimed to produce immune protective water. And these were people that RFK signed off on.
Immune protective water?
Yes. Just like the alien thing with the fucking... Yeah. We're going to use shots of immunity water.
It's the same exact fucking thing.
Yeah. By December 22nd, 2019, 79 people were dead. There were over 5,520 cases of measles, representing a 2.75% of the entire population of the island. 61 of the first 70 deaths were aged 4 and under. All but 7 of the total 79 deaths were people under the age of 15. At least 20% of all babies on the island aged between 6 to 11 months old contracted measles. 1 out of every 150 babies on the island died. By the 20th of December 2019, 94% of the population had finally been vaccinated versus the 95% of the population required for herd immunity against measles.
So he directly, his actions
directly led to more deaths.
Yeah.
After the outbreak started, Kennedy himself said that the dozens of measles deaths as they were beginning to roll out were due to malnutrition or the vaccine themselves.
Okay.
He cited no evidence for these claims, and he reported that clinicians on the island were like, nobody here has a vitamin A deficiency or immune deficiencies. None of this has to do with anything.
Yeah.
And this should have been a big story.
Yeah.
This should have been, look what the anti-vaxxers are doing.
Yeah.
But listen to the date I just said. December 2019.
Yeah.
Lockdown comes to America March 2020.
Yeah, things were popping.
Also, while this is happening in Samoa, the chart comes back into play.
What do you mean? Why did you just pick up the chart?
Yeah, because December, around the same time, is right when Ghislaine Maxwell gets arrested.
Oh, my God.
And after Ghislaine Maxwell gets arrested, we find out more and more people are starting to talk about the Epstein story. And what happens as people looking into things like the flight logs and other different things, right? They notice, hey, there's a weird name here on these flight logs. All them years ago, a man named RFK Jr.
Did you just add RFK Jr. to the board?
Yeah, he's on the big board.
He's never been on the board before.
Oh, no, he's been on the board before because RFK Jr. flew on the plane twice.
What?
You know how we know that? Because he also, not only was on the flight logs, but he admitted it to Andrew Schultz.
No! Andy! Not Andy Schultz. Hold on, I have a great picture of him. Put up this picture.
Okay,
Mr.
put up this picture of Andy Schultz with cornrows. Anyway, Andy Schultz interviewed RFK Jr. and he brought up the flight logs.
He brought it up?
Yeah, he mentioned it. And RFK Jr. said that he flew on it twice. Once to go visit his mother, Ethel Kennedy, and another time to go on an archaeological dig.
Was his mother on the island?
No, his mother wasn't on the island. He claimed he never went on the island.
Okay.
But again, the Epstein story is so
Because he was
big.
never invited. I can't do the Trump voice.
The Epstein story is so big that it actually kills any chance for the Samoa story to build up.
Yeah.
Because it looked like the story that was going to take down the president.
Yeah.
Right?
God, he's like, he's not as evil as Captain James Cook, but I'm like, he's Captain James Cook.
He is.
He shows up and he decimates
a native population.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And COVID hits.
Okay, so now it's March.
Now it's March, and RFK is ready. He is now the same way they test shows and music on the United Kingdom, a small market.
Yeah.
And then bring it to the United States and the rest of the world is exactly what happened with RFK and vaccines. He tested his messaging. He tested how to get it out there. All of those different things. Proof of concept happened on Samoa. And then less than 6 months later, it was about 9 months later, he's doing it on social media across America. He goes on Instagram and Facebook and other different places.
Oh, I bet this was big on Facebook.
Oh, it was huge. He said that Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation were involved in trying to make money off of vaccines. He said that Anthony Fauci was just trying to make money off of vaccines. When the vaccines themselves finally came out, RFK claimed that Hank Aaron, who was very old at the time, Hank Aaron died.
Yeah.
But he was also famously one of the first people to get vaccinated because old people got the vaccine first.
Yeah, that was the
And
whole
he
thing.
went vaxxed. He just accused the vaccine of killing Hank Aaron. He demanded in 2021 that the FDA pull all the COVID vaccines entirely. Eventually, his Instagram account was taken down by Meta.
Yeah.
Back then, it was just called Facebook, but they changed the name to Meta. But by that point, his Instagram account had quadrupled in size. He had about 135,000 followers at the beginning, and he had over 450,000 followers around the time his account got shut down.
Yeah.
For COVID misinformation, which just made him stronger. Because what that did was
Martyrdom.
now he's being silenced.
Yeah, he's being silenced.
And you know who loves talking to people who've been silenced?
Joe Rogan.
Podcasters, 100%. 100%. He started traveling the world during the pandemic. So while everyone else was locked down, he was traveling around from podcast to podcast.
Getting on planes
and traveling to areas and telling people to push back against the restrictions. He said that the lockdowns were a plot by the elites to control the population.
He is the elites. I established that an hour ago.
Yes.
He is the coastal elites.
Which, who better than to tell you? Because, in fact, he's betraying the elites by telling you that the elites are the ones actually doing it.
Oh, my God.
His YouTube was shut down, which just, again, made him even stronger.
We got a YouTube button.
Yeah, so
how about that?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Wait, yeah, pull up. Look at this. YouTube button. Let's go.
YouTube button. It's very shiny YouTube button. But he gets stronger and stronger each time. He's like a Hydra. Each time they cut down one of his accounts, he grows stronger and he shows up on other platforms, right? The podcast tours put him in the orbit of MMA guys. They put him in the orbit of all these different comedians. And he's a great guest because his fans are lunatics.
Yeah.
And his fans love to promote whatever he's on because anything that he's on is obviously the truth, and the truth needs to get out there. And so it's great. You have RFK Jr. on, and especially if you're nice to him, then his fans will then start to push you out more. And so it becomes this thing because
Wait a minute, did you invite him to come to our podcast?
He's going to be on next week, baby. But in reality, it's because, again, this is part of the anti-vax industry and the alternate medicine industry. So he goes on Joe Rogan and builds that up. And he also shows the other anti-vaxxers that Joe Rogan's a really great pace to be able to push stuff like your seed oil conspiracies or your Jillian Michaels style shit or any of these other different fucking bullshit things that are out there. He starts to show that you can use these guys as infomercials for your brand.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be.
Is he the one that introduced Trump to the idea of going on these podcasts?
He is the idea. Yes, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. Because we'll get into that. He builds his profile around a whole new generation of people. He used for a whole new generation of people.
Yeah.
He uses his environmental background to build his bona fides when talking about these medical terms, when talking about these chemicals.
Yeah.
He'll always say, this is a chemical that we worked against when I was at Riverkeeper to keep out of the water. And this is actually coal ash, or this is actually this thing. Or if you break this down to its baseline component, it's actually this. If you actually listen to what he says, he takes a lot of medical terms and science gobbledygook and mashes it together, and oftentimes while having them be highly edited for engagement.
Yeah.
He starts to weave a tapestry, and these podcast hosts love it.
Yeah.
They love to make him into this sage, wise man that is coming down from the elite halls of either New York City or from the fun, hot sun of California, depending on whichever pod you're going to go on. And they get hit by shotgun blasts of fucking insanity that their brains can't fucking process.
Yeah.
This is a list of some of the big podcasts he went on. He went on Joe Rogan, Theo Von, Flagrant with Andrew Schulz, Tiger Belly with Bobby Lee, Matt and Shane's Secret Pod, Dr. Phil repeatedly, Lex Friedman, Club Random with Bill Maher, Jordan B. Peterson podcast, The Jocko podcast, Ultimate Human podcast, Adam Carolla podcast featuring Cheryl Hines. I mean, there's just so fucking many of them.
Featuring Cheryl Hines?
She was there with them. Because oftentimes, again, she's that connection to Hollywood. So if they're trying to make it really about chatting about this other fucking thing, then he'd go on these things. And he's a great podcast guest.
Yeah.
He's a great one because he pushes the SEO. He comes with a built-in audience who just want to hear the truth, quote unquote, from him over and over and fucking over again. So he gets used to this. He starts doing these rounds and he's just there just so often, and he's making so much money because during this, he also starts to pivot into the books he's writing before COVID hits. I know he wrote that article, and he's been talking on the side about vaccines and going on the Real Time with Bill Maher and other things where he talk about this stuff, but it's always been from a hippie angle.
Yeah.
It's always been this like kind of Looney Tunes, tree huggy, environmentalist, fuck you, big oil hates me angle.
Yeah.
But as we're getting into the podcast side of things, and especially now once Joe Biden is in power, and the Joe Biden is pro-science, and they're pushing back on anti-vaccines, and they're pushing censorship on making sure that these thoughts can't get out there, this becomes on the right. Look at us. They're silencing us, the guys who did January 6th.
Oh.
They're silencing our hate groups. They're also silencing COVID denialism.
Oh, no.
I mean, the point where the reason why you call it the panorama or the pandini or any of those different things, that's algo speak that's left over from the pandemic of places like TikTok and others that would censor the word pandemic or censor the word COVID-19 because they didn't know how to deal with COVID misinformation. They couldn't stop it before it would get out there.
Yeah.
Because people were literally saying, drink bleach. Fucking RFK is literally telling people to take ivermectin.
Yeah.
Which is a dewormer. He has worms in his brains. Take it for other fucking reasons. Anyway, let's look at some of the books that he wrote. Before COVID, he wrote books like in 2018, American Values, Lessons I Learned from My Family. Very politician book.
All right.
Climate and Crisis, Who's Causing It, Who's Fighting It, and How We Can Reverse It Before It's Too Late. Well, that is from 2020.
Yeah.
And that's, again, from his environmental background. All right, that's from 2020. 2021. Want to hear this title?
Yeah.
The real Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates, Big Pharma, and the global war on democracy and public health.
Whoa, okay, we've pivoted.
A letter to liberals, censorship and COVID, an attack on science and American ideals.
Holy shit, dude.
The Wuhan cover-up and the terrifying bioweapons arms race from 2023. Also, vax, unvax, let the science speak.
Okay.
These are all books that he writes. I mean, as we're getting into past 2020, I mean, that's 4 books.
Is he ghostwriting these?
I think so. A lot of these are written with other people.
Because I feel like if he's doing a lot of podcasting, you don't have time to write a book.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of these are being written with other people. But this is like as we're getting into it, right?
Yeah.
Like he's really been building his profile, and he's really been building on the backs of being like, you shouldn't have to wear a mask. You shouldn't have to do these things. And people like fucking Aaron Rodgers is telling other fucking sports people, you guys should listen to fucking Robert F. Kennedy. And so slowly you're getting more and more influential people in the networks that people listen to are more and more of them saying, well, RFK is a good guy, which is why to this day, RFK Jr. is the most well-respected member of government.
That's
because
crazy,
most people just hear these glancing things. Oh, our RFK's taking care of it. He's getting the food dyes out of our food. Oh, he doesn't want us to be the toxins. He uses the word toxins a lot.
Yeah.
He uses the word poisons a lot. He uses these blanket terms. And again, I'm not saying there aren't toxins and poisons. I'm saying that it's like talking to a fucking 5th grader and handing them a college textbook and expecting them to be able to fucking process it. The things that a lot of scientists and doctors have pushed on to get more looks into vaccines and how we are approving things. All these different things are not the things that RFK Jr. is championing.
No.
He is not championing these things. He is pushing quack and bullshit and other side things for someone else to go make a buck on.
And he can make a buck on.
And that he can make a buck on and get more powerful on and fill the daddy hole that was left by that shooter.
Whoa.
In April 19th, 2023, he announces at a campaign kickoff event that he is going to run for the Democratic nomination against Joe Biden in the Democratic presidential primary of 2024.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this moment, this gave me flashbacks.
Yeah.
Because a Kennedy ran in front of a unpopular president and might have cost him the election because the Republican was using the slogan, Make America Great.
Been there.
Yep. 1980, Teddy Kennedy ran against then incumbent President Jimmy Carter. And part of that probably did a lot of damage to Jimmy Carter's campaign. They then eventually reconciled and came together on it, but the damage was pretty well done. And then Ronald Reagan was elected president in 1980.
Yeah.
Kennedy knows this. RFK knows this. Yeah. And he still goes in and does it. And part of it is also because he's been convinced, because he has how many millions of people that follow him across social media. All these podcasts have millions of views on them. He's constantly being told that he's basically the Messiah. All these different things. And so he's been convinced and has his ego puffed up also by guys like Roger Stone and Steve Bannon.
Oh, so we're getting evil.
Roger Stone and Steve Bannon, who are rat fuckers, who are tied to the Trump administration and have been tied to the Trump campaign this entire time. These psychopaths, who also have something to play with January 6th, they really push on RFK's ego. Yeah. And what they want is they want a spoiler. They want him to run and hurt Biden even more, weaken Biden, and so that way there's no chance. Now, obviously, the rest of the campaign is what it is. This is also before October 7th. So before all these other different changes, this is them looking at it of this type of worldview. Yeah. And we'll put him in. RFK, after he announces his presidential candidacy for the Democratic nomination, immediately demands Secret Service protection. Because RFK has a massive fear about his own assassination.
Obviously, yeah.
Because his uncle, his dad.
Because in none of this story you've told me did he go to therapy.
He might have. I mean, I know he went to 12-step programs and stuff like that. I don't know.
That doesn't count as therapy.
I don't know how well he's ever processed his trauma. I mean, I'll tell you what, he's processed his trauma of his dad being killed on a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
He speaks repeatedly on Joe Rogan and on others
so
that
instead
he believes.
of going to therapy and paying someone to listen, he makes everybody else listen.
Yes.
Got it.
Instead of going to therapy, this old white man demands that everybody sit back and hears his drama.
That's the same reason boomers made everybody go back to the office.
Yes, 100%.
They didn't want to be home with their wife and kids and just have people talk to them.
He tells Joe Rogan that he believes that the CIA is going to try to kill him during his run for president.
Okay.
And that is tied in with a lot of other different people. I mean, who's the fat one? Mr. Third? The fat podcaster?
Tim Dillon?
Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon talks about hanging out with RFK Jr. a lot, especially in California.
Okay, I don't know a lot about Tim Dillon, but every time you bring him up, he's always hanging out with the worst people.
He's always having dinner with these people.
He had dinner with
that's why I said
Vance.
that's why I said the fat one, because he's always having dinner with evil people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you did some evil? Oh, pass the cupcakes.
I'm just picturing like Marlon Brando. Oh, we're having a meal with somebody evil.
Yeah. So anyway, Tim Dillon said, like, if you hang out with RFK, he'll bring up the CIA trying to kill him multiple times.
Yeah.
RFK Jr. switches from in October of 2023 after, it's pretty clear that he has no chance in hell of beating Joe Biden in a Democratic primary.
Yeah.
Because Joe Biden's the incumbent, and the incumbent almost always wins the primary.
Mm-hmm.
He switches from Democrat to independent.
Yeah.
In a speech in Philadelphia where he starts screaming about the uniparty.
Yeah.
Which is the same terms that Jill Stein uses.
I was gonna say this is real Jill Stein behavior, bud.
Jill Stein claims that the Democrat and the Republican Party are a uniparty when it comes to foreign policy, specifically around Israel. You'll hear a lot of people say this. RFK claims that they're a uniparty when it comes to big pharma and pollution and all these other different things because they're being controlled by the elites, that type of stuff. And then most of his campaign staff then left.
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of them were Democrats. It's like Dennis Kucinich and other different people. And then his daughter-in-law, Amaryllis Fox Kennedy, became his campaign manager. Before that, she was a CIA agent.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
He's hiring a CIA. He said the CIA's going to kill him, but he's got the inside to the CIA.
He has CIA agents all in his face. His whole family's full of CIA agents.
Oh, my God.
Entire fucking family's full of them.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing is this whole time, people, now that he's independent, and he's doing these things, it's so great for these fucking podcasters because they can kind of talk about politics and they can use it as an attack on both sides.
Yeah.
That's like 75% attacking Joe Biden because he'll keep being like, oh, I'm fit. I'm physically fit. I'm mentally fit. They have dementia. They don't know where the fuck they are. And they're like, yeah, the president. And the thing is that term really worked for Joe Biden and Donald Trump at the same time.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, in front of our very eyes, every single day is shifting deeper and deeper in dementia.
Every day.
And Joe Biden is having similar problems.
Yeah.
And so when you're having this happen over and over and over and over and over again, the people are hearing whichever one that he wants to make fun of.
Yeah.
And so they're picking either side. But more importantly, these guys are choosing their lane, their joke lane of they're endorsing Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah.
And he's out there and he has this old bus from the 60s he's driving around with lunatic influencers on there and all these different people in that crunchy fucking pipeline.
Yeah.
They're all coming together for it. And then things start to turn.
What do you mean? How could they turn more?
They start to lose money.
Oh.
In July of 2024, they're like, Nicole is like, hey, numbers aren't going up. This is starting to feel kind of like a grift. And even though I have $1 billion, I'd like to not spend all of it.
Yeah.
And, there's some accusations get thrown around, some other different things. And then Donald Trump has his ear grazed by a bullet in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Right. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Can I hit the allegedly button on that one?
Sure.
Because I don't know that I think it happened.
It's one of those ones where...
Whatever happened to the guy that did it? Never found out about him.
Yeah, we never found out any more information about him. He just got shot 1,000 times.
Donald Trump, I've said this before in this podcast.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, to this day, yells about Rosie O'Donnell about some shit she said in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
He has not let that go, but he has not brought up that dude that shot his head once.
Yeah,
So
barely, yeah. After
what
the
the fuck?
campaign, part of me thinks. Honestly, can I tell you? I think he's actually forgotten about it.
Oh, because of the dementia?
I think he's actually forgotten. I think because you can kind of see him. They'll be like, they'll talk to him about it. And he'll be like, oh yeah. It's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the ear thing.
Yeah. So
the Butler, Pennsylvania shooting happened.
Yeah. Hours afterwards, like 3 hours after the shooting, a Donald Trump supporter, because this whole time, by the way, also the fundraisers that are being done for RFK and his major fundraisers, besides like low-level lunatics, are Republicans.
Yeah.
Because they're running him as a spoiler. Because they believe...
Yeah, they're Jill Steining him.
Yes, they believe most of the time that they can get disaffected Biden voters to vote for RFK as a protest vote against Joe Biden, and that way Donald Trump can come in.
Yes.
It's a spoiler. It's 100% a spoiler campaign. 3 hours after Donald Trump goes down and chops up and goes fight,
gets a picture.
RFK gets a phone call from a Trump supporter who says, you really should talk to Donald Trump. You should speak to him. This is a crazy time. We need to come together. We need unity. We need to come together.
Okay.
This is crazy. Because remember, this is also right before the Republican National Convention.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other different stuff. So he finally agrees.
Okay.
And Donald Trump calls him. And they have a conversation on the phone. And I'm going to play it for you.
Oh, you have the conversation?
Yeah, because it got leaked. And by leaked, I mean his son, the one who's married to a CIA agent, recorded it while he talked RFK.
So CIA agent of them.
Yeah, well, as RFK.
CIA's always tapping the phones, baby.
I know. RFK talked to him on the phone.
Yeah.
And this is what we got. Ready?
I would love you to do so. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. You know, we're way ahead of the guy.
And that's it. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. And the thing is, I think in that moment, because you can't tell what he's staring off at, in my headcanon, RFK is staring off at the images that were played over and over and over again of Donald Trump going down and popping back up, going down and popping back up.
Yeah.
And the thing is if you watch any images of his father being killed in 1968 while he was running for president, he goes down and he doesn't get back up.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the last thing RFK Sr. ever said was, "Don't lift me."
Wow.
And so there's a psychological thing in there. And so Donald Trump, whatever happening there, having those images flash in front of him is a terrifying moment to RFK Jr. And, you know, while we're here, we should talk a little bit about that assassination of RFK Sr.
Okay.
Because this is like a really pivotal thing, because a lot of other people also put some other ideas behind RFK. A lot of people thought that RFK would be an anti-Zionist candidate for some reason, which could never be further from the truth. RFK is a rabid Zionist. He's very pro-Israel.
Okay.
His reasoning is also because Israel is, in his words, is a battleship. It's a landlocked battleship for American hard power into the Middle East. But also, RFK Sr. was shot by a Palestinian man. He was assassinated by Sirhan Sirhan in 1968. And at Sirhan Sirhan's own words, he stated that he did it as retaliation for RFK Sr.'s support of Israel in 1967 during the 6 Days War.
Okay. That's such crazy information, because I have seen so many, as the comment moderator, so many comments last year specifically of people saying that RFK Jr. was the opposite of that.
That he was pro-Palestine.
Yeah.
He's not. Here's an image of him carrying the Israeli flag. That's just, he's very, very pro-Israel.
Wow.
And the thing is, though, is RFK Sr. was one of 6 victims. This was a mass shooting.
Oh.
Sirhan Sirhan had a weapon that held 8 bullets. He fired all 8 into a crowd inside of a ballroom in Los Angeles as RFK Sr. was trying to walk through the crowd.
Okay.
Sirhan Sirhan was tackled at the scene by bystanders. He confessed to the murder. He attempted to plead guilty and even begged to be executed. He was dealing with a lot of PTSD from the Nakba, which is when Israel stole a lot of fucking land from Palestinians, and through the other things that have been the beginning of this long, just storied genocide that's continuing to happen to this day. The psychological ramifications from that were still not really processed. Sirhan Sirhan came to America when he was 12 years old, and his dad then went back to the Middle East. He's a Jordanian citizen, because that's when his family went to Jordan as refugees. And then they came to America, and he was trying to become a jockey because he's very short.
Oh, okay.
He's been, after he was sentenced, because he was found guilty, he tried to change his plea and stuff like that. There's a bunch of different like really weird shit with it. But he was sentenced for execution. But 3 years later, they banned execution in the state of California.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court overturned it. It's the reason why Charles Manson was never executed and a bunch of other high-profile killers.
Yeah.
And he's been held in prison ever since. He actually was recommended for parole, but Gavin Newsom, California Governor Gavin Newsom himself, stepped in and refused to grant the recommendation by the board.
Okay.
One of the people who have recommended his parole has been Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
What?
Yeah, RFK Jr. believes in either a second shooter or that Sirhan didn't actually do it, or other things. And in fact, he himself has met with Sirhan privately in a prison, and they had at least an hour-long conversation.
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's never been disclosed what they talked about, but he stated that he believed that Sirhan is not the person who killed his father, and that a second gunman was involved.
Okay. So he believes that the CIA, who he's related to, is going to. Okay.
Yeah.
I am.
Reminder. I just want to remember.
Yeah.
We're talking about a 14-year-old boy who was on heroin, as every male figure in his life is draped in murder and conspiracy. And he is then surrounded by people, the many of times which he's getting insanely high with, who are then telling him information. And we don't know what's logging where.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine if you were on heroin and somebody starts telling you these things over and over again. And Sirhan has been trying to get out of prison in recent years.
Yeah.
Repeatedly trying to get out of prison. They won't let him out because, in Newsom's words, he's never said that he's regretful about what he did.
Yeah.
And so we get stuck in this situation of, like, this is one of the things that RFK believes. He also believes on conspiracy theories about JFK and all these other things. And it's like, well, who's to say? And this is also part of his trauma and his coping mechanism and all these different things. And, like, again, I'm not going to sit here and go try to re-adjudicate all this different stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the reality of it, is, like, the person who murdered his dad, the person who was found guilty of murdering his dad, was a Palestinian man. And ever since that moment, RFK has come out very vehemently in support of the nation of Israel. And his father was also...
But at the same time, he says he doesn't think that guy did it.
Exactly. But also tied into that is all the different shit with the CIA, which also involves Israel. So it's like these different aspects of it are like how much of it is where these things come into play. So I wanted to bring all of that up because this is what's going through his mind as he's standing here, holding the phone, staring off in the distance, just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what his brain is trying to process. And I believe that night, or within a day or two, he agrees to join the Trump administration. He agrees to drop out and join the Trump administration. But the thing is he doesn't do it immediately.
Okay.
He doesn't. He waits. He waits until August 23rd. And that date is important for a few reasons.
Why?
And part of it is because between July and August 23rd, more stories start to come out about him. The bear story and like all these other different things start to come out. And he gets word that the New York Magazine is working on an article about him.
Okay.
About how he cheated on Cheryl Hines.
Oh.
Because, remember, RFK Jr. is fucking horny.
You know what? I remember.
And he goes on a lot of podcasts with Blue Chew. So it's August 2023.
Okay.
And the New York Magazine reaches out to RFK. And they're like, hey, we're working on a story. Did you have an inappropriate relationship with Olivia Nuzzi? Okay. And she was a reporter who did feature stories about RFK. Yeah. And they had like this kind of like, people thought it was more like a mentor-mentee type of like relationship or just like a professional relationship. Or she seemed to be pretty infatuated with him. But it actually came out that they had a non-physical digital affair.
Okay. You want to unpack that? Explain that for me?
So basically, they were sexting each other, and then eventually they had a sexual FaceTime encounter, which I assume means he jerked off on FaceTime. Oh, I think that's what that means.
We can only allegedly.
I'm assuming. This is, in my opinion, because this is the way it's been described.
Oh, man.
This article
I'm just
plus,
listening to the Bo Burnham sexting song in my head right now.
This article plus all the insane roadkill stories and the fact that they were again running out of campaign funds, and then people were starting to put out there that like, hey, to his VP, like, Nicole, it looks like you guys are shutting down. She's like, we're not shutting down. We're gonna win this. We're gonna beat Biden and Trump. People are like, you're polling at 5%.
Yeah.
Like, this is stupid. But at 5% at razor thin margins, with what we're looking at with the final campaign, could still be pretty critical. But it all came to an end. On August 23rd, 2024, RFK suspended his independent run as for president of the United States.
Okay.
And then he walked onto a stage with Donald Trump with sparklers firing on all sides.
Yeah.
And accepted to join his team.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. They said they were going to stand together. He wasn't running as VP.
No.
But he was going to eventually be part of the Trump cabinet.
Because J.D. Vance is just so charismatic.
So charismatic.
Couldn't get rid of that guy. Who else would go on vacation every fucking day?
Now, remember, I mentioned that the date August 23rd was important because August 23rd was the day after Kamala Harris's speech to accept the nomination for the Democratic Party for president of the United States. It was the end of the DNC. Literally, as people like myself were flying back from Chicago, feeling high on our libtard experiences, we all looked at our phone and they said Donald Trump is in Arizona with RFK as they're shooting confetti at people. With the help of RFK, that was enough. That's what finally pushed Donald Trump over into the presidency. It's also what got him the last of the independent podcasters, because the independent podcasters had all said that RFK was the man who should run this country. And then RFK said the true man who should run this country is not me. I'm but John the Baptist. The real Messiah is Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And so all of them fell. Shaka when the walls fell, each of them to their knees and prayed to the fat orange God for what he is. And they all opened their mouth wide, took in the love. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on our Patreon at pearlmania500.net or also at alexisannerd.com.
And watch this next video right here.
Ah!